Joining us to discuss the movement in a more depth are the Pitt News' Elaina Zachos and the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's Courtney Linder. Elaina spent the weekend in Washington, D.C., while Courtney was on the ground in Pittsburgh. Starting with you, Courtney, you were reporting from a women's march in Pittsburgh on Friday, but in East Liberty, correct?
Originally, the march stemmed from the march downtown. There was a break in the group due to the feeling that white feminists were taking over the march downtown, and other women of color and people from the LGBT community, other religions, felt that they were being left out. So that sort of sparked this black feminism march. And the rally at the beginning also included a West African traditional prayer.
And then in Washington, was a lack of diversity an issue that you noticed at all as well?
Maybe a little bit. There have been some people saying that a lot of the march was organized by coastal elites and normally just more upper class women, but I found there were just people from all walks of life, which was kind of refreshing to see.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
If I can add to that, I also agree that the march that I was at, although it was focused on marginalized people, including women of color, whether it's cis or trans men, all these different groups that sort of end up being on the outskirts, there were a lot of your mainstream feminists, which are the white middle class people, and it was interesting seeing all these different people advocating for one another. So, I agree with Elaina that there's a wide range of people there.
And for both of you, what was the general feel on the ground during these protests? Especially for you, Elaina, how was your Friday's march, sometimes violent, versus Saturday's march?
Yeah, well, Friday's march, it was less of a march, more of a confused huddle of people trying to figure out where to go to get to the mall, because the authorities kept on putting up fences and then taking them down and putting them up other places and kind of blocking out people. It was just a logistical nightmare. But it was, I wouldn't say it was violent until after the inauguration actually happened and there were people taking to the streets. And there were also there was one limousine that the protesters smashed the windows on and then lit it on fire. Yeah. There were some trash can fires. But on Saturday, it was very peaceful. Friday, there were 217 arrests in D.C., but Saturday, everyone was just really happy to be marching around and united, I think.
Thanks, Elaina and Courtney.
Thank you so much for joining us.
And here are the events that we covered this weekend.
I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
This checkpoint is closed. This checkpoint is closed.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
He won the electoral vote. No, that's not.
And will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.